We specialize in home, auto, commercial, ATV, motorcycle, and boat insurance. Being an independent agency, we have the ability to find you the best price available to suit your insurance need. At Parker Insurance and Realty, we can help you package your insurance or find the specialty insurance required to get you covered. We are your source for any real estate needs, whether buying or selling, we can help you. Give us a call today so we can discuss your insurance or real estate needs. Parker Insurance and Realty, 265 South Macon Street, 427-9345. That's 427-9345.
Are you thinking of selling your home or business? Hi, I'm Gloria, and as a realtor, I know that getting rid of the clutter in your home is one of the best ways to help sell your house quickly. At Jessup Premium Storage, our family-owned company provides a convenient and secure building for all of your storage needs. We now offer outdoor covered parking for that antique car, boat, or RV. Due to our recent expansion, we offer units that range in size from as small as a bedroom closet to as big as a one-car garage. All of our units are inside and climate controlled with 24-hour access and security. Our leases run month to month, so you're not locked into a long-term commitment, giving you the flexibility to move your belongings out the minute you purchase your new home. Stop by today or give us a call, 530-8003. That's 530-8003. Jessup Premium Storage.
They're cool, clean, and secure.
When you have an accident, you, not the insurance company, chooses the body shop, and you only need one estimate. All you have to do is call Jerome Riles at B&C Collision Center in downtown Scriven to deal with the adjusters and insurance company. Whether it's a little ding or a major crash, that B&C Collision Center across from Wazin Cabinet Shop in Scriven, deal with the insurance company so you don't have to. Call them at 579-2274. That's 579-2274.
Merry Christmas from Mike Butch Ford in Blackshear. Come enjoy the Ford Holiday Sales Event. Our gift to you is 0% for 60 months plus $1,000 rebate on new Focus, Fusion, and Escape. Come buy the best-selling truck in the world. Up to $10,000 off on select 2015 Ford F-150s. There is excitement in the air at Mike Butch Ford. Come see our brand new dealership. Christmas time is here. Buy a new Ford and we'll give you 5 free oil changes while in factory bumper-to-bumper warranty. At Mike Butch Ford, you can save money now. Ford Holiday Sales Event is going on. You can choose your deal, 0% and rebates just in time for Christmas. Timmy Roser, Joy Lee, Bart Duncan, Tracy Ross, or Randy Williamson will show you the best deal. This is Sammy Dixon, and we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, thank you very much for your business.
105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO FM Jessup, 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. 71 degrees here in southeast Georgia, getting up to around 81 today. Cloudy, 60% chance of showers. And it's now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Mike Butch Ford in Blackshear, B&C Collision Center in Scriven. Also brought to you by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Parker Insurance and Realty, located on Macon Street in downtown Jessup. Bob, we got some special guests in here this morning.
It's hard to believe, but it's eggs and issues time. Let's break the big news. Donald Trump has been invited. Is that correct? George just fainted.
The record crowd he brings everywhere he goes, we would take him. It'd be the biggest thing.
That is absolutely true, because he is nothing but an entertainment piece.
All right, Bob, introduce our guest this morning.
We got Joy Birchmeeks and Brian Griffiths to talk about Eggs and Issues, an annual event put on by the Chamber of Commerce where we invite our local elected officials and representatives, and they come highlight what's really going to take place up in Atlanta, and sometimes they tell us what's going on in Washington. But I just thought Donald Trump would add to the excitement. Big crowd.
Absolutely would, Bob. That's a great
we could put
idea.
up a big banner, "Don't be a chump, vote for Trump."
Do you have anybody you can call, get that scheduled up for
I've
us?
been talking to Sybil, seeing if she'll, she'll right flag.
You're going to get a call from Miss Sybil if you keep on.
But anyway, let's get on to the topic. What's the date? January 8th?
It's January 8th. It's that Friday of the week.
Friday, okay.
Which is the week before session starts. Doors open at 7 o'clock. The program will commence promptly at 7:30. We'll get it on the show. Get it going. Get everything in.
So we have a moderator like we always do, or how are they going to do it? That's the big thing. Everybody asks all the time, what's the format going to be? Are they going to let them up there speak? Are they going to ask questions? Both?
It's going to be that blended program that we've been doing for a couple of years. They'll have a chance, a few minutes to kind of give their 2 or 3 minute stump speech about what they believe is going to happen. We'll come back with a moderator. They'll have some kind of generalized prepared questions that we take beforehand, but then we'll do note cards on the tables as well and allow the audience really to participate. It seems that when you get a crowd that large, even with that many people, because we had over 120 last year. I think we ran that 2 years in a row. But when you have that many questions, when it boils down to it, it's only 5, 6, or 7 questions that really come out of the audience, even with that many. And so what we like to do is just kind of grab them up, make sure everybody's kind of encompassed in those, and then present them back to them.
It's always well attended. Like I said, the crowds get bigger and bigger because, more and more people get interested in what's taking place. But it's nice that they come and they, like I said, they preview it, and then you'll have a post-legislative luncheon after that. But this kicks it off where they kind of just preview what they anticipate is going to take place, preview some important legislation that they think is going to be of interest to this area. So, like I said, Tommy's always been there. Do you have the guests lined up? You got the list of who's all coming?
Yeah, we do. All 3 of our locals, Senator Tommy Williams, Representative Chad Nimmer, and Representative Bill Werkheiser, have all 3 confirmed. The federal invitations have been sent, but that'll depend on if they have a vote that week or not, and if they're going to be in D.C. And you're right, it is really well attended. And we are fortunate to have these guys come in, and they make it a priority to come that week for us. And that's fantastic. I mean, it really shows a lot about their integrity and how well they prepare for their job and how they treat their job. All of them, Chad has small kids. Chad's children are probably within about a year or 2 of my children. I understand what that's like. I would hate to leave them for 40 days. Tommy Williams, he already has an event the night before, and he has a small child. And I talked to Bill Werkheiser. He's got a meeting in Atlanta that Thursday night. So he will be driving back Thursday night from Atlanta. Or driving to Atlanta on Thursday, take his meet and drive back to come back here and make it at 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday morning, which is their weekend before, where they have to tie up all their house things, all their family obligations, all of that for their businesses in order to go. So the fact that they make that much of an effort really speaks volumes about them personally, and I think for Wayne County as well.
It really does. And to echo what Brian is saying, and I've said this on this program before, but Wayne County is blessed with the representation that we have at the state level and at the federal level as well, but certainly at the state level. And these guys, this is not a full-time job for them. This is 40 days. And so they have to hold full-time jobs, and all of them have very time-consuming full-time jobs. They're all great businessmen. And so it really says something about the priority that they place on being a public servant, and that they really take it seriously about being our representative and our voice under the Gold Dome in Atlanta. Because these guys have already started some meetings. This is not just January 1, they all go to Atlanta. They've already started preparing. And like Brian said, that week before session goes in on Monday, I think, the 11th. And that week before, they're tying up loose ends for their businesses, for their families, and they're already making trips to Atlanta to get prepared for session. And so they all said, whatever day it is, we will make it a priority to be there, because we want to be present in Wayne County so that we hear what's on the minds of folks in Wayne County, so that we can take it back to Atlanta and be your voice there.
Right. Again, if you just joined us, Brian Griffiths and Joy Birch mix in from the chamber with the Eggs and Issues breakfast on January the 8th. I almost said 9th, but it's a Friday. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And of course, the big highlight to me is the meal. Talk about the meal buffet.
Absolutely. The meal will be catered by Sybil's. And so it's always very good. James and his team just always go above and beyond. It's hot coffee when you walk in and socialize with your friends and folks from the community and network for a while. And then we'll make our way to our seats. And then it's a hot meal. It's a buffet, and a hot meal. And you have a nice breakfast before we start our program. So James and his team always do a great job.
Time and ticket price.
As Brian said, the doors will open at 7 a.m. The program will begin at 7:30. Tickets prior to the day of are $15, which includes the meal. Tickets the day of are $20 at the door. And Brian and I were talking about this before we came on. That's why we wanted to come on today, is to go ahead and get on everyone's schedule, because we all know that next week we'll all be headlong into Christmas and family and holiday spirit. And so we encourage you to go ahead and buy your tickets beforehand. Go ahead and call the chamber today and get your ticket. You can buy a table, Brian.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, we have, the different levels of sponsors as well. We have the event sponsors, $250, 6 tickets. That's in the January edition of the business newsletter, preferred seating and the recognition at the meal. Then we have the table sponsors, which is $100, 4 tickets, which is the preferred seating and the recognition there. along with individual tickets. But like we said, I mean, 120 people the last 2 years in a row. You're right. I mean, you remember 5-6 years ago when we started, we broke 100 and it was a big deal, and we're consistently running well over that. So you want to come back in and register early. It ensures a seat. It saves you time at the door. It saves money.
Well, we had to move from Sybil's. We had it at Sybil's for years, and we've loved it at Sybil's, but space just became an issue because we were at full capacity. And so we did move over to the Polytechnical Center at Coastal Pines, and we filled the room now. We opened 2 or 3 rooms, and we fill it. So we would encourage you to get your tickets early. And we want to highlight, Bob, it would not be possible without our presenting sponsor, and that is, once again, I think for the 3rd year in a row, he's been kind enough to do it. That is AT&T Georgia, Mr. Gary Sanchez. So we appreciate Gary and appreciate AT&T for being the presenting sponsor for Eggs and Issues.
Okay, once again, just highlight again, time, date, and cost of tickets, where they get the tickets. They call the tickets are available right now at the chamber. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, and the chamber's number is 427-2028.
All right, you can call down there to reserve your tickets until you go pick them up, things like that.
That's exactly right. And then Friday, January 8th, 7:30 at the Coastal Pines Technical College and the Polytechnic Center. And that's really, I got one personal thing I just have got to ask.
Yes.
Who found the cash can? Anybody?
Nobody yet.
Nobody's found it yet.
Yeah, I think the clue today is going to help.
Yeah.
Is that, well, I tell you, like, that's what Joey and I were talking about beforehand.
I'm
still trying to figure it out.
Well, my wife called me at 3:05 yesterday, and she's like, okay, it's by the bleachers. I'm like, all right, it's got to be at a park. We're pretty sure it's this way anyways for about a week. I went. I thought, I'll sneak in. Nobody will see me.
Uh-huh.
I bet there were 20 people at Bill Morris Park. I saw 4 big old 4-wheel drive trucks jump out with loads of people out at Hall Richardson,
Yeah.
cruising it, turning up the dugout, looking on the benches. Son, they have tore this county up. So my wife. No, that was not a literal.
You don't have to dig. You don't have to move. You don't have to do
That was
stuff.
Damage any property.
You don't have to damage any property at all.
Right.
It's probably calling, hey, we're with our fans now.
No, leave the shovels and everything at home.
My wife, she goes to pick up the kids in Odom, and she's like, okay, there are 10 people in Odom right now on their ball field looking. It just cracked us up. I was like, I don't remember it being like this, but what you guys in Velocity have done, it's awesome. But I ran through at 3:00 yesterday at Bill Morris, and there were 20 people probably looking.
And the reason people out there look for it, $1,055 will come in very handy this time of year. So a lot of people out there looking for it, and that'll make their Christmas. But it's interesting how people they ask all the time, "What was the clue?" I'm like, I didn't know.
He can't find it, so why does he care?
I'm not eligible.
But I get everywhere I go. I mean, it is the talk of the time. Where's that? I mean, you can't walk in. Where's the cash can? If I knew, I'd have my best friend pick it up.
Bob, can I be your best
Bob
friend?
is kidnapped. Well, no,
That's the
someone
reason
told
why
him.
Matt and Pam are the only 2 people who know it.
Yeah, that's why
I don't even ask Matt where it's at because I'm trying to guess myself.
Everybody said, "What's the clue?" But I like how they post all the clues at the end of the week. So but they said it's definitely the talk of the town. There's a lot of people out there looking for it. But like I said, please don't destroy any property.
You don't have to do that.
You guys have done a great job. But we should offer Pam and Matt some protection if it goes on much longer.
Well, John's already said we're closed Thursday and Friday, so they better sign it by Wednesday. They're going to be out of electricity for holiday season.
Has anyone ever not found it?
No, they've always found. Usually, the first 2 times we did it, they found it toward the end of the 2nd week. This time it's going here to the end of the 3rd week, and so the clues are a little bit. If you put all of them together, all 14 that have been put out so far, you've already got a pretty idea of where the area is in terms of what to look for. As you mentioned, several people are looking at several different areas in Wayne County, but it would be a similar looking area in all parts of Wayne County. So if you put all 14 of those clues together, the first 10 are already on our website at bigdogcountry.com and on Velocity Health and Fitness Center's website and Facebook page. Those first 10 clues are there. But there's been, 4 given out so far this week that really narrow it down to where it could be.
And yet you still don't know, Butch?
No, I could ask Matt and he'd have to tell me, but I don't want to know.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure it out myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a huge crossword puzzle almost.
Between him, I want to know, but I don't know.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. See, I did this promotion for years back. I did this same promotion for years back in the 70s here in Jessup, in the 80s up in Aiken, South Carolina. So, I'm glad that we're doing it now with Matt and Pam doing it. Yeah.
That's funny. Listen, Bob, we need to talk afterwards.
I just don't.
He don't know. He has no idea.
My friends get mad. I don't even know what the clue is. What was the clue today? I missed it. I was like, what clue? I said, I'm new now.
Tune in at 12:45 or 3:03 or 5:45 or in the mornings around 7:05.
And you give them you give the same clue.
All 4 times.
All 4 times throughout the day.
Yeah, throughout
Okay.
that same one, that same clue every time, each day, and then the next day it's a different clue. The next day it's a
How
different.
big is this can? I look at this because
It's just a regular can.
It's a rare can, but it's well marked.
It's well marked. You'll know when you find it.
It's got the WIFO logo and the Velocity Health Fitness, so you know it when you find it. You'll know what's
like
the
a regular
can.
can. I mean, is it like a can of baked beans or is it longer?
I have no idea. I don't know. As far as I know, it's always been a regular can, and it could or could not be in its original shape.
Mike, if you're listening, we are not having a meeting after the radio show, so if Brian doesn't come in until noon, he's been looking for the cash can.
Speaking of which, Matt Hubbard, I'll be calling you right when we go there.
Back to the eggs and issues you're pretty in tune. What are some of the? You have any idea what some of the issues that we discussing statewide? Anything that needs to know about?
We're starting to hear some of those and starting to see some articles around the state, and then there's starting to be some chatter. But it looks like it may be an interesting session. On the one hand, it will be an election year, so you've got a lot of folks that really don't want a lot of hot button issues. But on the other hand, you've got some folks that absolutely do want those kinds of issues. Casino gambling is certainly out there being talked about. The religious liberties bill, Josh McCoon over in Columbus has already stated that he will introduce some version of that. Last year, I think it passed the Senate and died in the House, maybe. And then, of course, always the budget will be a big
That's the
deal.
only thing they really have to do is
Yes.
the budget, but all the other stuff is just gravy.
Yes. Education, Governor Deal has done a great job, and we're not going to have the debate this morning, but he's done a great job in advancing education, trying to put money back into education after several lean years. Criminal justice reform, that's been a big priority for the governor. So I suspect that we'll see the next step in whatever that is. Juvenile justice reform, the next step in that as well.
And what's going to be interesting this year is to see who lobbies and who gets out there forefront to run for governor. Who's going to replace Governor Deal.
That's absolutely
you
true.
hear these names, but everybody's in that I'm thinking stage. Nobody's really thrown their hat out there and said I'm definitely running. But that'll be fun to watch as well up in Atlanta.
It will, and there are a lot of names.
Isn't
Like
it
you
Governor
said.
Deal in his second term?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right,
It's
so
his last term.
his last term, which will be 2 more years after this one.
Right.
So it will be interesting to see who's going to run.
It will be. And there are a lot of names that, like you said, there are a lot of people that are, quote, talking about it, thinking about it, exploring their exploratory committees. And so I think we're going to see some interesting folks put their name in the hat. But then I also think we're going to hear a lot of names that half of them really don't decide to put their name in the hat. Politics is a tough business these days.
I don't want to do it. I can tell you that right now.
I thought it was just
You see, this is the first time y'all have ever been on that we actually streamed this down our web.
I was looking for that earlier. Brian
Yeah.
said it was, where
Well,
is
the
it?
camera is right up there.
Oh, I
See, that's the
see it
reason.
now.
See, we do it. We know people are coming here early in the mornings, so we diffuse the pictures, not in HD. Okay.
Well,
See
you
it?
could, why don't you enhance the picture instead of diffusing it?
We diffuse the picture so there's no, it gives that soft look to your
Oh.
face, and you're about 30 seconds behind on the internet than you are live. So in just about 25 seconds, you're going to see yourself go. So on BigDogCountry.com or BigDogCountry, there you go. On BigDogCountry.com, you can watch the live feed of it along here, the audio and the live feed.
Now, are you guys seeing a lot of traffic? on the video?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
that's relatively new.
Yeah. It's relatively new. I mean, you really don't have to see the video because we don't do anything much visual in
Sure.
here. But, you can hear the audio as usual on 105.5 FM and on BigDogCountry.com. And we have an app now, a free app that you just
Very
go to your
good.
favorite app store and just type in Big Dog, WIFO, and just follow the instructions for your app store. And then, let's see here. Then you'll get Big Dog, WIFO app.
Okay.
Picture come on there, the big dog.
Very
And
nice.
you just tap on that right there. And then between 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the mornings, you can listen to the audio of Big Dog Country on our app.
Okay.
So and I do that a lot in the mornings. If I'm out walking my dog and want to hear local news of Bob, I've got my phone on, walking shadow or walking shadow around the yard and listening to Bob for the local news if that fits in my schedule that morning, or I'm inside listening to it on the radio. So we encourage folks to do that.
I have to tell you this, when we get up and go up front in the mornings, we have a toddler now, and I always turn on the radio, and he's not talking yet, but now if I walk up front and don't turn on the radio, 105.5, he starts pointing and grunting to turn on the radio so we can hear you guys. So he's growing up with 105.5, Butch and Bob. But we want to thank you guys. I want to take a moment to thank you for your support of the chamber throughout the year, and I know it's long standing, but we really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys letting us come in and talk about events like Eggs and Issues. We appreciate your support of events like the Christmas parade, and you guys have, like I said, long standing support, but we really appreciate it. We believe that a strong chamber is really important to a community.
Definitely.
It's vital to a community, and I always use the analogy of, if you think of a wheel, the chamber is really your hub, and it can really, if it's strong and effective and working, it can really bring folks together and bring folks to the table and connect them and connect all of the pieces that make a community great. Economic development, community development, leadership. That chamber is really in the middle, and so we just want to say thank you during this time of year for your continued support.
It's amazing the calls that the chamber gets on all kinds of subjects, more than just to do a business. It's just like the information center of a community.
It absolutely is. And Dale has some great stories about when he first came on, his first day, the phone, he said, just continuously rang, and it was all, is this salon still open? What time does church start? Where is this business? And so it is an information center. And even more than that, while a chamber is not political, a chamber does have the function of educating its members on any issue, whether it be a political issue or a community issue. The chamber is really responsible for being a voice for the business community of Wayne County. And we take that very seriously. And so whether, while again, not political, sometimes we do feel like we can provide the educational piece. And so whether that's bringing our locally elected officials around the table and educating them about issues, whatever the issue may be, or our education officials, or whatever it may be, we do think that provides an added benefit to our members, and we take very seriously being the voice of business in our community. And so a strong chamber is very important.
And the people need to be thanked for all those volunteers on the chamber boards, because there's, like I said, all those people have jobs as well, but they take their time and they serve on those boards. And like I said, they come together, put together that, like I said, that Christmas parade, which was fantastic, and all these events, lunch and learns. And like I said, there's a lot of people that volunteer their time and give to the chamber, and those are the people that really need to be thanked. Because it's tough.
They do, and I talk to folks across the state, and especially folks in a similar size community like Wayne County, and they're just in awe of the amount of work that the chamber does. And I always tell them it's because we have the people that are dedicated to this community, and whether it be serving on the Christmas parade or the lunch and learn or the general membership luncheon, or serving on the board, that there is always a group that's willing to step in and go to work for this community, and we are very blessed in that regard.
And speaking of our legislators, like I said on the Christmas parade, both Chad Nimmer and Bill Warkheiser were in the parade. Buddy Carter was in the Scriven parade, so it's nice to see those legislators. They know how important those events are to the community, and they make sure they come. So it's good.
We just have buy-in from everyone,
We do.
from the community, from the business leaders, from our elected officials. This is a really great place to live and raise your family and try to grow a business in. And I think we're all appreciative of that.
And the good thing you mentioned, the legislators, they seem to work as a team. That's the good thing. It's always better when they're on the same page and they work together. So, but Tommy, Bill, and Chad seem to have a good working relationship among themselves, which is a good thing.
They do. And speaking of that, they have a great relationship. Speaking of that, I would encourage all of our folks that are out there listening, or if you know someone that's not listening that should hear this, whether you are in county government or city government or healthcare or the school system, our legislators are pretty well placed in the Capitol in terms of positions. So I would encourage you to take a few moments and look at your organization and look at your needs and be ready to talk about those needs, because these guys can help you and they want to help you.
And people out there listening, you made a good point, because I've had this issue with a lot of people. They complain and they land blast the officials and they have these issues, but then when these people come, like at an event like Eggs and Issues, and they're right there in Wayne County, this is your opportunity to show up and meet these people and take your concerns and your complaints to them directly, and you'd be surprised what may take place instead of just talking behind their it's just, that's always amazed me. People, I go to these different boards and they've got an issue and they're complaining about it, and the person can help them is come to Wayne County, but yet they fail to come to the event that they're at. So I don't understand. This is a perfect opportunity to come, hear what they have to say, bring your concerns, bring your complaints, bring whatever, but at least meet these people and get to know them on a first name basis and know who they are.
That's right. That they are human. They cannot help you if they do not know the issue, if they are unaware of it.
And you don't have to make 3 separate trips to Atlanta. This is one trip inside of Wayne County, and I know 7:30 is hard. You're dropping children off. We have small children. We understand, but it is this. If you can swing it, this is the one time you get all 3 in one spot, and you can, tell them what you think or ask them questions and pick their brain. So it's a very valid point, and one that
it's just a great opportunity the chamber provides for the community. And like I said, it has been well attended. And like I said, I'd like to see the attendance continue to grow. Like I said, you had to even move it from one location to the other. Civil still provides the meal, but it's just grown that big. So it's great to see that much interest in the Eggs and Issues.
It is, and it really kicks off the year for the chamber. It's the new year. We like to schedule it late enough in January that you're sort of coming off of your holiday buzz, but early enough that we still get it in before the session starts. So that's why you normally see it that first or second week in January.
We do appreciate y'all coming in to talk about the Eggs and Issues coming up on January 8th at the Technical College. You got Joey and Brian here this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That's right. All right, it's 8:30, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country, WIFO, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Parker Insurance and Realty, located on Macon Street in downtown Jessup, across from the Heritage Bank, and by, Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, by BNC Collision Center in Scriven, and by Mike Butch Ford in Blackshear. 8:30, let's check in with the latest news from Fox News Radio. Fox News.